Thank you for inviting me here to speak at TEDx. I'm Dipika Trehan, a founder CEO, a leadership mentor, and a startup advisor. Hello, everyone. And it's such a joy to see so many smiling faces. But let me begin with a fact check, a reality that I've gathered through the thousands of people I've interacted with across the globe. That it takes just one candid conversation and a shoulder to lean on to realize something deeply universal, that we're all broken. Scarred, shattered, cracked. Broken by fear, broken by doubt, broken by shame. And as a defense mechanism, to protect us from breaking further, we put on a mask, we wear a facade. And in the process, consciously, unconsciously, we start breaking others too, through our words, through our reactions, through our indifference. And the cycle of being broken and breaking others continues, leaving us even more broken. Because somewhere deep inside, our conscious soul whispers, "This isn't me. I'd never want to break anyone." But what if I told you there is a beautiful way out? A way to discard the spiral of being broken and broken others, or breaking others. Well, this is where, ladies and gentlemen, I take you to an ancient Japanese philosophy, a concept called Kintsugi. Kintsugi is an art of putting together broken pieces of pottery, not by hiding its cracks, but by filling them with gold, making the object even more valuable than before. The piece of pottery now put together owns its scars, wears its imperfection, and is put together as a whole, but transformed. In times where replace is easy, repair takes patience, perseverance, and a deep faith, a deep belief in rebuilding. And therefore, Kintsugi isn't just for broken porcelain bowls. It is for us, as individual, as professional, as people. Well, the concept of Kintsugi goes further on in depth, and I'm going to take you through 3 moments from my own life to somewhere establish that Kintsugi isn't poetic, it's practical. Those 3 moments, one personal, the other professional, and the other deeply emotional. Now, let me take you back a couple of decades. Here was a young girl, an adolescent, already grappling with the genes that she was carrying. And those genes, they weren't too kind to her appearance. She was a plump teenager in a world where beauty has a very specific definition. She knew that she was nowhere near it. Relentlessly bullied, mocked, and shamed for the way she looked. The bullying hit her so deep that in order to fit in, she was almost anorexic. In fact, one night, while preparing for her 12th board exams, she fainted. The blackout was due to excessive weight loss, due to emotional trauma, and fatigue. Ladies and gentlemen, not only did this impact her in her scores, as the scores suffered, they also shattered her confidence. And as a college student, she was a young girl full of self-doubt. It didn't stop there. She carried the fear into her marriage too. As a newlywed, she would wake up earliest before anyone was awake to wear her contact lenses. And she would wait till late night for everyone to sleep for her to remove the contact lenses. That's how ashamed she was of her spectacles, or rather, her not being perfect. Until one day, her partner said that you look equally beautiful with your glasses as you look without them. That one moment, that one word planted a seed of acceptance. It transformed her, still cracked, but put together with the gold of belief, of empathy. And today, she flaunts her glasses whenever she chooses to. She wears her imperfections on her shoulders. She knows she is beautiful inside out. She doesn't seek external validation. That girl was me. Let's move on from personal to professional. After a fairly long sabbatical, I finally found my footing as an entrepreneur. Every rupee I earned wasn't just money. It was identity. It was financial independence. It was a reclaiming of self-identity that I had lost over the years. One day, for a very important project, I hired a consultant and his team. They promised the moon in terms of deliverables, and I trusted their word. I was naive. I didn't focus much on the documentation. I didn't double-check the deliverables. I didn't even read the contract line by line. And when the big day came, the deliverables were nowhere in sight. My hard-earned money was gone, and I was devastated. Devastated not because just of the loss of money, but my faith in word shattered. And I was angry at myself. How could I just believe someone so easily? Why didn't I protect my work and my money? Was I foolish for being so trusting? Well, in a twist, we still pulled out the event gracefully with resilience and a lot of last-minute hustle, for which we're still applauded. But the crack that happened then got filled with a never-to-be-forgotten wisdom. That wisdom was from then on to date, and I hope beyond. No contract goes signed without scrutiny. No blind trust, only informed decisions and confidence. That Kintsugi moment, though broke me, the gold of wisdom put me back together. But what I learned was something that no business school would teach. And therefore, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about love. For as much as love is to be healing, with the numerous lives that I've touched across the globe and mentored, it's heartbreaking to observe that love can also be the most potent shatterer. As humans, we don't just invest in careers. We invest in people. Sometimes those people value us. Sometimes they take us for granted. And sometimes they break us. Very recently, I was broken again too. Not by work, not by image, but by love. I gave my best to someone so dear. What I received in return was neglect, indifference, and even abusive language. And that broke me. Nights and nights of tears, silence, pain. I endured it all. I wondered how, to someone you give your everything, can be so unbothered to see you crumble. But life doesn't wait, and you can't stay broken. That's when I remembered that loving others is beautiful, but loving self is foundational. And self-love? It's not just about bubble baths and chocolate cakes. Self-love is looking straight into the mirror with moist eyes, with torn faith, with all your cracks showing, and you still saying, I choose you. I choose purity over deceit. I choose compassion over criticism. I choose truth over pleasing. And that's where, ladies and gentlemen, this time the gold that I put in myself was that of self-love. And believe you me, out of all the Kintsugi moments that I've had so far, this one was most powerful. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to tell you that life isn't kind, and it is on to us to create a more empathetic world. One where vulnerability isn't shamed, it's celebrated. Where we don't break others because we finally put in the time and effort to repair ourselves. Let's stop hiding our cracks. Let's start owning them. Let's stop breaking others. Let's start building together. Because broken can be beautiful. And you are the masterpiece of your version of the Kintsugi life. Ladies and gentlemen, life isn't fair. And there will be times ahead where we will all be broken again. Sometimes through our own faults, sometimes by being mishandled by someone. In fact, unintentionally, we might just contribute towards breaking others as lovers, as parents, as leaders, and so on. But you know what? Ignorance isn't in our control. Awareness is. Let Kintsugi be that significant awareness so that next time when life happens the way it does, to all alike, young and old, we pour in gold. After all, why would you want to be just broken when you can be broken and gold? Stay gold in your Kintsugi life. Thank you.